Welcome to the KTLA Morning News at 8 a.m. I'm Pedro Rivera.
And I'm Lena Bovin in for Lauren Lister. We want to get right over to Casey for a look at your weather on this Easter weekend. Hey there, Case.
Hi. Well, today is going to be another mild day. We'll see a bit of cloud coverage this afternoon. Tomorrow will be really, really hot for a lot of us. 56 in Los Angeles right now, 37 in Big Bear, 55 in Lancaster, and 50 in San Bernardino. And here's a look at what we can expect for high temperatures this afternoon. 64 in Santa Monica, 69 in Santa Ana, 74 for Ontario, up to 87 degrees today in Palm Springs. Coming up, we're going to talk more about the really warm weather on the way, how long that will last, and the next chance of rain. Back to you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Casey. Our top story this morning, a judge in Texas suspends the FDA approval of mifepristone, one of the two drugs used in medical abortion.
But not long after, a second judge ordered the FDA to preserve access to the pills. Now the contradictory court rulings plunges medical abortion into uncertainty. KTLA's Erin Myers is live in the newsroom to explain how these two decisions could impact abortion rights nationwide. Erin, good morning.
Good morning to you both. Access to the most commonly used method of abortion in the United States is now uncertain. As you said, these two judges in two different states issued opposing decisions on the abortion pill mifepristone. A U.S. district judge in Texas ruled yesterday to suspend the FDA's more than 20-year-old approval of the drug, saying it violated a rule that allowed it to be approved at an accelerated rate. If it goes into effect, it would ban the sale of the abortion pill across the country. This ruling comes while a lawsuit challenging the safety of the drug continues. That lawsuit alleges that the FDA's initial approval of mifepristone did not adequately review its safety risks, something the judge agreed with. The judge's order did give the government 7 days to appeal his ruling. Now, the decision came nearly at the same time that a federal judge in Washington state directed U.S. authorities not to make any changes that would restrict access to the drug in the 17 states plus the District of Columbia that brought that lawsuit. Now, that lawsuit seeks to make abortion pills easier to obtain. Since the Texas ruling came down, the Justice Department and drug manufacturer have both filed notices of appeal. They will also seek stays of the ruling. The FDA has also said they stand by mifepristone's approval. The drug has been widely used in the United States since that approval and is one of two drugs used for medication abortion in the country. Courts have usually deferred to the FDA when it comes to issues of drug safety and effectiveness. President Biden has responded, saying this ruling does not just affect women in Texas. If it stands, it would prevent women in every state from accessing the medication, regardless of whether abortion is legal in that state. He also said his administration would fight the ruling and seek an immediate stay of the decision. Vice President Kamala Harris also addressed the issue yesterday.
There is no question that the president and I are going to stand with the women of America and do everything we can to ensure that women have the ability to make decisions about their health care, their reproductive health care, in a manner that is what they need, and they decide that, not their government.
Many organizations and officials around the country have spoken out against the judge's ruling in Texas. The American Medical Association said it flies in the face of science and evidence. Planned Parenthood called it a deeply harmful move. And here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom released a statement saying that abortion is still legal and accessible here in California, and we won't stand by as fundamental freedoms are stripped away. Others, though, have supported it, such as the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America nonprofit, which called the decision a win for the health and safety of women and girls. Now, these conflicting decisions could likely put the issue on an accelerated path to the Supreme Court. As of now, it does appear the drug has remained immediately available. In the News Center, I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back.